Hello again to the AFA Academy talks with Ariel Gratsch and Nir Gadot, the owner and CEO of the AFA Dispensing Group. Today we're discussing a principle called our capital yields best when invested into ourselves. Now, that sounds a lot like financial planning. Ariel, can you please add some more color to this principle?
For sure. So it's true that it comes from the financial world, but it is relevant to AFA because AFA, when we started, was a very capital-intensive business. Production. In production, you have to put money in machines, in molds, in plants, in everything, and that is very, very intensive because you need to make hundreds of millions of one products. So it's a big investment. And I didn't want to be in that business. I didn't want to be in a business that invests in machines. And it's not that I didn't want to be. When I met Wim, that we mentioned before, the developer, and he talked about innovation, I said to myself, we better invest every penny that we have in people like Wim, whether they are developers or salespeople or marketing people or organization, HR, and so forth. And so the meaning of this is that we don't want to invest in fixed assets. We want to invest in living and breathing human beings because that's our strength. And that brings you ultimately the best return. Never mind return from a financial point of view. You get a group of people who are very enthusiastic about what they do. And when they are enthusiastic about what they do the things best. And then we bring it to our customers. And the question, who invests in machinery, is no longer on the table.
I see.
You understand?
I do, and reflecting about it, Nir, it reminds me of the strategy to say the innovation is the biggest asset, the people that are inventing, and not a machine. So to me, this now sounds like allocating resources, not only money, but also focus in the organization?
Yeah, more than focus, it's the strategy. When Ariel came into AFA and took over AFA, he changed the strategy. AFA was a developer for hire, was a custom molder. And he stopped all of this. And we're saying we're just going to focus on innovation. And that's where we put most of our resources. And innovation means that you're creating inventions. You spend a lot of time on research, development of these inventions, and of course with the goal to bring them to life. So we invest in our own technologies. We protect the IP around these inventions. And we are trying to build products that are based on these technologies into different applications. So beyond the people, it's investing on our own technology platforms that basically fuel the pipeline with products. And these products are helping us to get into different segments in the industry, different areas, and continuously expand.
Building on what both of you just say, indeed, the time I'm not spending as a moderator in talks like these, which are the AFA Academy talks, my job is to foster exactly what you said, because our core asset is our knowledge, the knowledge that sits within people, not within machines, as you said. Everybody can buy a machine. Inventing a machine, inventing a process, inventing technology sits within people. And this is what, as Nir just mentioned, the Academy is about, fostering that knowledge, handing it over, making it accessible in the company, but also externally. Because we all realize we're living in ecosystems where we have to cross-fertilize ourselves to advance and always keep up with our strategy of being ahead. So in this discussion, I realize it is not about financials. It is about being aware of what the assets are, what the strategic focus is, and living up to that. So
I think the Academy point is very much a case in point. Because if we go down to the facilities here, we'll see that we took a space that typically in a company like this would have been a space dedicated to machines, equipment, assembly, whatever, and we turned it into what we call the Academy. It's actually a space. There is an auditorium, there is a way to deliver a speech or a lecture, and this is where people get together. Whether they are customers of AFA, suppliers of AFA, workers of AFA, owners of AFA, managers of AFA, that's where the investment is. in the place, in the time, in the resources that are allocated to that. And so I think that is a very good example of what we mean.
Indeed, very inspiring. And who would have thought that a principle that sounds financial ultimately is about fostering the innovativeness of people, bringing great minds together and jointly creating the future? Wow. Thank you so much.